I would like to take a few moments and talk about the delegate. Now, delegate is a very important and of course a very delicate concept in the iOS development. And you will face it quite a lot, so it's a good time to talk about it. You are going to define a lot of delegates and trying to follow a lot of delegate things in that. And iOS development is not at all fulfilled without the delegates. So in order to understand the delegates, now first of all, why we are reading the delegates, because it is really the requirement for our next apps. We are going to build a lot of apps and a lot of functionality like dismissing the keyboards or maybe designing an app that looks like a notes app, and all of these things require a concept of delegate to be dealt with first. So what is a delegate in a real world? And yes, you guessed it right. It's a person representing any country or somewhat like that. There are political delegates, there are business delegates, and a whole lot of things. Like for example, if I give you a real life example, when the Prime Minister of United States of America came to India, Barack Obama, he was a delegate for us, and he was a delegate from US. Now, he was representing the United States in India, but he was not at all a United States, he was representing it. So he was a delegate. When our Prime Minister Modi got into the America, he was a delegate for those guys. So this is what the concept of delegate is. It is a person who is responsible for representing the entire state or maybe entire country in that module. So there are tons of delegates, like there are some political delegates, there are some business delegates who represent the entire business or the politics. And the same concept applies of the delegates in the Swift and iOS. And I'll give you a short example out here. Like for example, if I click on this Runner's Watch app, now I'm holding my control key and I'm dragging and dropping it to the first view controller. Now as I let it go, not now, I would select this and again try to do this. It's not working on this. I'll try to get rid of this. Now here I connect. Now notice it shows you lots of options, and later on we will deal with that. Now lots of options are delegates and all of that. Now again, bear with me. If I click on this icon and I select my rightmost controller, the connection inspector out there, you will notice that nothing is out there. But if I move down here on the stop button, if I click on that, and here it is, notice there are few things like view controller, stop buttons. These are all delegates. So what is a delegate? Now also you will see that there is a file that says appdelegate.swift, and you will see something like class appdelegate. This is what inheritance is being done. And later on we are defining a protocol for UI application delegates, somewhat like extensions, and all of these things are being done. So let's say you want to design an application which looks familiar like a table view in a note application. So definitely you have to invite a delegate for that. So what are the steps for inviting a delegate or making anything as a delegate? The first and most important thing is make sure that you understand and you have read what are the protocol rules for that. Once you understand, it's just like a real life thing. When anyone represents any business, he should know what his business is, how the business is running, and can he represent the business at all. So this is what the first step of the delegate is. Make sure that you understand all the functions inside it which are compulsory to define it, and your class should follow the delegates. Once you have that, you should have implemented the required actions and the plans. And finally, just follow the delegates by defining the functions. And I can understand right now that things are not clear, and things are not clear for the real life delegates as well. I just wanted to talk a moment about this. Like first of all, if you make a person, any random person as a delegate of a business, he is not going to work well. He need a person by which he can run on a side by side, can watch and learn what are the delegates, how to imply them, and what that actually means out that. So once he understand and learn that, he can now represent as being a delegate. And who is going to be that person in that case? Now in that case, I will be that person who will be walking you through about how to understand the delegates. So again, delegates have got just two rules. First of all, you should understand what are the necessary rules for that and how to imply those protocols in your class. And after that, you should have a plan that what are the requirements of implementing that delegate and how to connect your properties with that delegate. Now with that, I would also like to go with one more thing, that once you are in the main storyboard, you will find that a lot of things are out here. Like for example, if I have my runner watch out here, and if I would like to connect it with anything, Like here we have got a runner watch, and you can see we can have an outlet out here. And let me just select this guy out here, and this guy out here. If I go, I would like to select this guy, and in fact I would right click simply on it, and you can see we got a lot of options out here. Now notice there are few options which have got circle being filled up and some of them not filled up. Now this remains an important concept for our next movie. We are going to talk about it. Now sometimes what happens, let's say this is an app, and what I want to do is when this app runs, a keyboard is being popped up. Let's say I want to remove that keyboard from whenever the user click on another part of the screen. Now here lies the concept of the delegate, which is really important. Now also we need to understand what is your V controller, what is your first responder, and your exit as well. But nothing to be worried. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the delegates. If you have understood, great. Haven't understood, nothing to be worried. The couple of movies which are coming next will make sure that you understand the process of delegate quite in detail.